Hey, house churches. I hope you're having a great time together. This is a down week, so I want to make sure and encourage you to spend some time figuring out how you as a house church are going to serve in your community, in your neighborhood, in your church for a down week. I know it's very easy for a down week to come and then you forget, oh, we didn't plan anything for this week. What do we do? Spend some time today putting on dates on the calendar and contacting the right people so that you can be prepared for the next down week that you can serve in that capacity. Don't let another one pass you by. But I also want to give you a couple light bulb, question mark, and arrow for some discussion, hoping that you can have some good discussion about Jesus in your life and in your church and house church. So for me, my question comes out of reading the text and wondering, what role do I have to play to receive or encounter Jesus' glory? In some ways, Jesus is the one who kind of manifests his glory for us, that we can be kind of very passive agents in it, where we just receive what he has shown us. And in the other hand, there seems to be something that we have to do internally in our own hearts, where we have to maybe prepare our hearts in a certain way, where we have to have a longing of the heart to be able to hear him or to see him. So my question comes, is there anything that's in my life that's stopping me from seeing Jesus' glory or seeing him in a more full way or hearing what he wants me to do or what he's asking me to do? My light bulb moment comes when I was reading 2 Peter. And Peter, who is up on the mountaintop with Jesus for the transfiguration, is writing this letter as an old man. And he references his mountaintop experience. He references the transfiguration. And he says, because of that transfiguration, because of his experience there and seeing Christ's glory, he can have more confidence in what Jesus has called him to do. And for me, that was a light bulb moment that it also plays true in my life. That when I encounter Jesus in this way, the reason why this is happening, the reason why it's important to have this connection with him, to be able to have a full relationship with him, is because it's preparing me for the things that I'm going to have to be doing. When I start walking down the mountain, so to speak, where the valley becomes very difficult, where the pressures of this world begin to push in, and I begin to question the voice from God saying, listen to him. This mountaintop experience, so to speak, is really preparing me for those next steps. My arrow, or my conviction for this, comes in the fact that I just need to be very vigilant in being someone who is seeking after Jesus. That I am someone who lives a Jesus-centered or a Jesus-present life, and not a Jesus-themed life. It can be so easy to flip in, or to switch into a role where you just kind of do all the motions that a Christian's supposed to do. You kind of show up at church, or you show up at house church, or you kind of say the right things, and you can put on the facade of being a good Christian or having a good relationship with Christ, but really all it is that facade. That when you look behind the curtain, you realize that there's really nothing there. It's just a bunch of motions, and it becomes very empty. And that's where the wedge begins to get driven in between myself and God, is when I just go through the motions and I actually haven't pressed into what Jesus has called me to do. So my conviction is to be vigilant in that, to make sure that I am making much of Jesus and not much of myself. It would be such a shame 10 years from now to turn around and look and realize that I was pointing people towards me and not towards Jesus. I need to be someone who is pursuing Jesus first, and from that, my heart will be changed, and from that, people around me will be changed. So I hope you have a fantastic time together in your house church. Dive into these questions, ask each other some of these hard questions, and then make sure that you set a time and a date for you guys to be able to serve. I understand sometimes a down week serving project may not fall on an actual down week. That's okay. We just want to encourage you to get out and serve, knowing that serving is a vital part of a faith that is firing on all syllables. Have a great night, everyone.